How to use your ISO like a local repo. What do I mean by this is, so you need to be completely offline or something of that sort, but you need some sort of repo to work to install packages. This is not enable. This process I'm going to show you. It's going to enable you to be able to access all the packages that the official ISO of your chosen distribution. I'm going to use Rocky here, but works for any distribution, Rocky, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Fedora, whatever the case. So this process will work for any distribution, but all the details here and how to connect to the local repo are specific for Red Hat-based distributions. But if you want to do the same thing for other distributions, you just need to adapt the files that connect you to the repo to your own distro. If you want me to do for other distros, just let me know in the comments below. This one is going to be for Red Hat specific, so Fedora, Rocky, Red Hat, Alma, CentOS, and all that good stuff. So this is going to enable you to be able to access all the files in the ISO or DVD if you are using a physical DVD. I may do a video while using a physical DVD. I may do that in another video. Well, actually, I will do that when I have a little bit more time. But this one here is how to use the local the ISO that you have previously downloaded to install the server or the workstation, and use that ISO as your repo source. So you will not connect to the network repos or the internet repos, but the local repo of your local DVD or local ISO. Let me show you here what I mean. Boom. So basically I have here a generic Rocky 10.1. It will work Rocky, Red Hat, RHEL, Alma, and all that good stuff, and other distributions too. So I have here locally an ISO, which is this one. This is the one you just download directly from the Rocky's website. I mean, nothing special here. It's just local. It's just local on the server. It could be on a USB pen drive, whatever the case. It could be a local CD, a local DVD, whatever. It will work this for the most part. It will work the same. But I have it locally, so it speeds things up. It's faster than using a USB device that needs to be connected or a DVD that needs to spin up. But the idea here still prevails. Okay, so you have some sort of local storage with the server files with the installation source. This is the big one. Okay, so this is the big ISO, the one that has most stuff. So now I have the ISO local, and let me show you that the DNF will install nothing. So let's do DNF install foo any package, and you will see that it's there are no enabled repositories, which is kind of intentional. So now I want to use this ISO as my local repository. What you have to do? Well, first you need to mount your ISO into some folder. Well, of course, the first command is first typo. So as you can see here, the ISO it's not mounted anywhere. So it's not mounted anywhere in the system. So you need to do that. You can do that manually, which means that it will not survive the reboots, or you can make it permanent. I will show you both methods. I have this kind of at the ready already. So temporarily with the mount command, so just need to do the mount command. I have it somewhere here. Let me find it. So basically you do this. Mount the path to the ISO and some folder. This folder here, the AMT local repo, it's just a folder I created. It can be anywhere really. I like to use the MNT folder because I'm old and I've been using Linux for, I don't know, 20 or 30 years. So the MNT is kind of the one I use. You do this. It's going to give you some jibber jabbers. It's fine, and you can see that it's there. It's fine. I can just list here, all right, and you can see that it's there. Nothing special there. The thing is, the mount command will just mount it at the moment. If you reboot the server, it will not do this automatically. To make this a permanent thing, you just go to the FS tab and you add something like this. So it's basically what the mount command did, the ISO and the folder. Then you do this mount option. Instead of easily here, you put the file system, or you put the file system like this here, right? But here just put ISO 9660, default 00, and you are good to go. If you forget the ISO thing, which I always forget what the number is, and assuming I'm assuming that I may have some, I might not have any internet access at the moment, and I want to do this by memory. What I do is I go to the not the the mount man page, and I just search for ISO Bablamo. It's just there. Okay, so it's cool. Now it's there either by hand or in FS type. It will just make things just work every single time. It's there. Fine. So all the contents of the MNT local repo are, I mean, the contents of the ISO of the DVD. Since RHEL 8 or RHEL 7, something like that, the DVD it's ready to be used automatically as a repo. It was not always like that, but now it is. You can use the DVD as a repo very easily. But I digress. It's there. So how do I use this? Because even though it's mounted, if I try to use it as a repo, it just does not work. What do you do? What to do? Well, you go to the etc unit.repos.d. So even the command tells you where to go. Okay. And as you can see here, it's an empty folder, which is fine. We need to create some files that will help us to do that. You could create two files. So if I list the contents, these are the ones we need, the app stream and the base OS. We can create two separate files or one with both. In this case, it's a matter of personal choice. I'll just create one for both. So I just do VIM local.repo. Okay. You can name it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all. I'll just call it .repo. If you don't put .repo, things will just not work, okay? I know that in Linux, file extensions mean nothing. I know, blah, 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 blah. But call it .repo, or else things will just fall apart. Call it .repo, call it a day, move on with your life. Next, I'll just give it some sort of name in brackets, so app stream. Then you just do base URL equals. Now, it's a URL, okay? So if these repos can work with FTP, HTTP, nothing that I'm not telling you nothing special, right? Like we could say HTTP, blah, 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 blah. But since this is local, you do file like this, like this, like this. So this is basically an URL, but it's pointing to local file system. So files, column, // that's just an URL that you see every day. Then we add a third slash. Why a third slash? Because basically you need to point to a local resource, and the local resource will just start with a slash. So if you put everything together, this is the URL, like HTTP column // FTP column // it's an URL. But in this case, our URL will point to a local resource. That's why you see 3 dashes. URL / the local path. And the local path usually starts with MNT local repo. Okay? Cool. That's why you see 3 slashes. It's the URL followed by the local path. Then you just do like this. I'm just copy pasting to avoid mistakes. And you are pretty much good to go. Because if you check that MNT local repo app stream, then you have the packages and repo data within it. That's what we need to see. We need to see both folders at the same level. So do not put, what I mean by this is, do not put / packages. That's not the way to go. You need to point or to direct the URL to where both folders are presented. That's all you need. Then the rest of the parameters is kind of what you need basis, but this is the ones I usually do. Enabled equals 1. GPG check equals 0. GPG, it's kind of the GPG package check to see if there are valid packages. If you're connecting to the internet, it's nice to use. Local, I tend to say 0 just to speed things up a little bit. And if you want to, this is also optional, but if you want to avoid a warning or a pseudo error to pop every single time you use this repo, give it a name. It's just to avoid, needed information. So let's call it app stream repo. Okay, that's all you need. Something simple. What you put here between brackets needs to be one single word. Avoid special characters. Avoid dashes and dots. You could use a couple. I don't remember which ones you can use, but just stick with a simple name and avoid problems. So now it just needs to copy this part here and just reuse it for the next one. And I'm going to call it base. Oops. This is the base OS one. So base OS. Base OS. And base OS. And it should be good to go. Just save your file. You cannot see right and quit behind my noggin, but it's there. Just right and quit. Cool. I need to put the camera on the other side maybe, but that's for a different video. Okay. And we think we're good to go. Let me just check to see if base OS is typed correctly, and it looks fine. Now just do something really dumb. It's DNF search foo. I know that foo does not exist. And I just, well, this delay, it's kind of nice because it's connecting to the local repo, and well, now it's working, it's fine. So let's do DNF install HTTPD. I don't know if it's install HTTPD. It's already installed, nothing to do. So let's remove my noggin from the way. There we go. DNF install HTTPD, and yeah, I need to move the camera to the other side. I think it makes a little bit more sense. Cool. So yeah, DNF install HTTPD, blah 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 blah. So it's already installed, so it's not going to install nothing because it's already installed. But I proved my point. If you want to if you are one of those stubborn ones that need to be things getting installed, so let's install this. So DNF install. I don't need this for nothing, but I mean, I don't mind to install it. It's fine. I can just destroy this machine afterwards. It's already installed. How nice is that? I don't know. I don't know. I just got a huge brain fart. What do I want to install here? AutoFS, why not? There we go. Install AutoFS. There we go. It's installing. And it's done. So, sorry. This is how you can set up a local repo. So this is completely offline. You don't need internet to install the packages that are contained within the ISO. So just download the ISO, mount it either temporarily with the mount command or permanently with the fstab command, and you just configure your repos accordingly. You just need the name in brackets, a name name equals an extended name. So you don't need that extended name just to avoid errors or warnings. Then you put the URL. Now you know why you see 3 dashes, because it's an URL. So .// like an URL would be. Then since it's a local resource, it starts with the dash. That's why you see 3 dashes. Enable it equals 1, TPT check equals 0. That's all you need for the most part, because it's a local repository. Do it twice, one for base OS, one for the app stream, and you should be good to go. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'm really happy to answer. I kind of thrive with community interaction. Like, subscribe, hype, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.